used to be that we just go on the road and do shows. Now we're doing these crazy Irish festivals and like city festivals and colleges and all this weird
festivals,
rib
cook-offs.
So it's like all these people are asking us to do this kind of kooky stuff, and it's really spun, I think, what the band's kind of core audience was, and now is different. And I think being in all these different situations that are kind of out from where we used to be is kind of twisting the music as well.
I mean, Shane MacGowan said it. It's like, you know, what's happening around us in the world directly affects what's happening inside of us. And, you know, when you're thinking of creating music, there's really no, at least I don't understand how to make it. It just, you know, inspiration and creation just comes from, I don't know where it comes from, but it comes when it comes. And the world's a different place now than it was, you know, 4 years ago when we were working on our last album. And
in a way different place than it was 8 years ago when we were working on the album before that.
Yeah. And I mean, now it's our lead songwriter and singer, Dave, he moved back to Ireland. So he's kind of, for so long, he was coming at writing with the perspective of, I'm exiled in the States because he was an illegal alien.
Yeah, like a real kind of nostalgia for the Ireland and Dublin and the kind of the life he remembered living when he was back in Ireland.
We're a band that formed in Los Angeles. Me and Bobby are from there, but now we're going to Ireland, and we spent more time in Ireland this year than I have in the States, I think. I mean,
yeah, probably.
And so it's like now you're coming from a different perspective. The music's going to be slightly different, but nothing's premeditated. It's just we're just creating the best music we can right now.
It's funny too because the kids hate Irish music over there. They hate traditional music. They totally.
Oh yeah.
You tell them like, oh yeah, well what we do is we kind of take traditional. I fucking hate traditional music. Like first thing out of their mouth. Oh well, we kind of twist it a little. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go back to the States, you cunts. So we've been spending probably the majority of our time in Ireland in this pub called Tom Corrigan's.
Corrigan's Pub.
The proprietor is Tom Corrigan. He's a sweet...
The Publican.
The Publican, yes, as they call themselves. It's really just a sweet guy. I mean, I think he's... sweeter on us than I think most of the rest of the villagers kind of got a little jealous. When he actually cooked us dinner 3 times.
He's a dude who like he's notably irascible. Like he's a guy that in town they're like, oh yeah, Corrigan. Everybody knows his line, and he's inflexible and gives everybody a bunch of shit. He's a total character, and he's never. He may be happy. He is happy. He'll never let you know it though.
Yeah,
he's totally.
Nearly well.
Nearly well. Just always this look.
Yeah.
Nearly well.
I mean, we're at his pub every night for about 3 weeks straight. Then we got friendly. I was back behind the bar pouring drinks, and Dennis was mopping up, and Bobby here was
we were sweeping and doing dishes.
But yeah. And then we go home, and it'll be a couple months. We'll come back to the pub, and you're all excited to come back to Corrigan's and see Tom and the rest of the proprietors, and there's Tom. He kind of just looks up. Mm-hmm.
He hasn't seen you in 3 months, but he's kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, you're back, hey?
Oh, great.
Don't turn your back on me, don't ever let me down. She said I picked you up each time before you hit the ground. That selfish face is now erased, and someone mentions you.
Like, it still surprises me when people say like, wow, you guys are a big band. I'm like, really? We're still playing the same places we've been playing for the last 5 years or something. Things happen outside that every once in a while kind of trickle in, and you're like, whoa, I can't believe that happened, or I can't believe we did that, or I can't believe people are still coming to our show after the same album being out for 4 years. That surprises me that we sold out a tour last year on the same album that these kids have seen these songs, 8 times in the last 5 years. And if it was me, I might be like, maybe I'll not go this time.
We just got off the Warped Tour. That was the last tour we've done, and to go back out there, and we haven't done the Warped Tour in 3 years. And I mean, I wouldn't say that I was really nervous, but I was a little bit, I was curious to see what it was going to be like. I mean, and I didn't know this, but there's a lot of those bands that are MTV bands now, and so there's a lot of that kind of fresh energy, and we were put on the same stage, in the main stage, I guess you call it, and to see that reception of the people there. I mean, every fucking show on the Warped Tour for us was just a party, a success. I mean, it was just so much fun and great, and the people were just massive and into it, and to be a band that, you know, we're not all in our 20s, we're not we're not really get radio play, or you're not going to really see us on MTV, and to have that type of reaction, I mean, I got to tell you how good that feels. I mean, it feels fucking good, you know. When you actually have the 7 of us on stage, and however many, be it a dozen of Matt's nieces and nephews, to, you know, we played in front of maybe 50,000 people at a festival where more than the majority had never even heard of us. But that, the spirit of actually, you know, people, human beings being in a place live, that will always be the most beautiful experience with music. This whole world, you know, the power of this world, other than powers that are way beyond our control, I mean, human beings are the rulers of this world, and to feel that human energy together, that collectiveness, that solidarity, is such an infectious thing. And that's why, I mean, Flogging Molly is and always will be a live band. I mean, we're a live band. I mean, the best review I've ever heard about our music is this guy was talking about seeing us live, and he was almost, you know, comparing it to like a religious experience. And then he says, you know, in the same sentence, the only thing I can say bad about this band is I fucking hate their albums. Can't even listen to them. You know, and that was the best review I've ever read about this band, you know. And I love our albums, but just the passion that this guy had about, and that's the passion that we all have, that we bring.
And I hope the institution that's established has less to do with us and more to do with that feeling, you know, like, it's not about us coming to town. It's about what they feel when we're there, because we just happen to start that kind of vibe. You know, like when we started playing, that was the vibe that grew up around it. And like, I would much rather have that vibe be the institution, and like that feeling like I'm going to go someplace where everybody wants to forget about all this bullshit that's going on in the world, and remember that we all like each other, that we're all just people, and just have a good time, and that's what draws them to it. And maybe we're just, you know, a conduit for that. Hopefully that's what survives when we're gone, is that the remembrance that, like, hey, I went to a place with 2,000 people and we all actually thought the same thing for 20 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes or 4 hours or whatever it is, you know.